Here we go. Welcome back to another one of the Access Control Executive Brief Theater discussions that we've had with the sponsoring companies. It's coming up at the security event in Birmingham at the NAC. It's going to be April 25th to the 27th. And basically what we're doing at the theater is we've brought together a group of companies to have a discussion, doing a little bit different than what you'd see at a show normally, where on the show floor, you go to the booths and you meet each individual company. Each one has its own different story. What we're going to try to do here is we're trying to bring a group together to have a conversation about today and tomorrow, thought leadership, roundtable discussions, really highlighting the innovation that's happening in really what is an inflection point in our industry. And with me is one of those companies and a person behind the company that is actually, exemplifies exactly what we're talking about. So today I have a guy with me with Sentry Interactive. Excited to have the opportunity to have a quick discussion about him, the company, what to expect. So without further ado, Guy, thank you very much for not only coming on here and doing this, but then also participating in the overall theater.
Pleasure. Look, it's a great chance for us to be part of an awesome event, and as you said, doing something a bit different. Everyone's been to a lot of conferences and events, and I think this theatre bringing together a bunch of really innovative and different companies all under one roof to have a conversation about access control, and hopefully we can bring something a little bit different, because Sentry Interactive, we sit on the peripheral of access control and experience. It's something we really want to talk to people about. So no, thank you ever so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So on that a little bit, can you just give a little background of yourself? Because you've got a unique background, which I think totally applies to what we're doing here. It is actually showcasing also another, how the industry has changed, frankly, to where I don't know if a guy like you would want to be in the security industry 30 years ago. But,
yeah, who knows, Lee? Well, look, yeah, appreciate it. A bit of background, and you could say we're, I guess, the new company into this. We're with some esteemed organizations, and me, I'm definitely the new kid to access control, but definitely not new when it comes to the quote unquote smart buildings. So for the last 8 or so years, I've been working in the smart building space, primarily looking at kind of the entire occupant experience and the explosion of kind of tenant experience apps. And this is kind of what we're looking to achieve, of how access control interacts and adds value to kind of almost third-party applications, or the access control is almost a third party overlaid by deeper experience apps, HR apps, gym apps. It's a key element to how they work and how they operate. Without it, there's sometimes not key values to drive user adoption. So hopefully we're gonna have some interesting conversations. I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot from industry experts attending the show. There's some great panels, some great lineups, and I can bring some insights. I've had the pleasure of working with some pretty large global organizations, sitting there with heads of various different departments, talking about innovations and strategies and what can we do to bring the office back to life, or bring environments back to life. And at the time, may have changed, it's pretty recent, security, security professionals and access control didn't have a key seat at the table. They weren't there representing. We had customer experience, we had FM, we had kind of asset management. Didn't really have people from security. So I'm really interested to hear from others about their experiences of working with different departments and on the kind of the CRE side of it. But appreciate access control is super broad, and we're going to be touching upon how it works in different sectors and different areas too.
Yeah, I think what you're talking about there, which is part of the conversation we want to have at the theater, is what has been a feature of our industry, the isolation of like, hey, we keep bad people out. we keep bad things from happening. And that isolation was a feature because the attack surface reduced, risk appetite for people, experts in the building, is now become a bug in some cases where there's a desire for collaboration and having those bigger seats at the table. And in some cases, you could even have a conversation, which is an active one currently right now, where by introducing some of these other things, it actually increases your security posture in a lot of ways, right? So there's a need to have this conversation. And that again, I think that's a great segue into what to expect from you, what to expect from the companies that are going to be there. You, Wavelinks, LinLS2, Tapkey, Sentry Interactive will also be there on that end. So like having us come together and giving a forum in order for us to have this conversation is almost as important, in my opinion, as come see my product that is basically looking for a nail. At this point, you will still have that. What's nice is there's sort of pods around it. You can come see the products. We could also join in the conversation. So with
definitely.
that, what's that? Sorry.
That's it. It's going to be about that collaboration piece. We've seen some great, some kind of some great information, whether that's video collateral, marketing blogs, and around the kind of the prop tech space, and we're seeing it in access control, is as much as companies like Sentry Interactive, who is designed to kind of aggregate and bring multiple systems together. I know, Lee, you're a big fan, and you've got some interesting views on aggregation and kind of how people can or should or could work together. But it's exactly what we're trying to achieve, removing this disparate systems, disparate departments. You know, I mentioned about heads of in different areas and bringing them together so everyone's got the voice. But you know, Sentry are trying to do it in a bit of a different way. You'll hear some themes, some reoccurring information, which is, you know, really cool and amazing stuff. But at Sentry, we got a bit of a different spin of how we can utilize access control and the technology and innovation we bring to the table. So hopefully we get the chance to showcase that, but it's a chance to meet and greet and understand, you know, what are these challenges people are facing, and can us and others solve them. So yeah, really looking forward to this.
Me too. All right, so do it. It'll be April 25th to the 27th. It's at the NEC Birmingham. There'll be the Access Control Executive Brief Theater. It's on the website for the show. If you go there, they're treating it the same way that they would any other education, which is wonderful. We appreciate the partnership by the security event on that as well. So Guy, look forward to meeting you in person. Look forward to doing this. Thank you for sponsoring this and participating. And thank you personally for putting a lot of time and energy into it. Look forward to seeing you.
Our pleasure, Lee. Thanks ever so much. We'll see you soon.